the webinar. So we would like to say a brief profile about Mr. Bosun Musa, and we promise it's going to be a very, very exciting moment with him. And, I know he's fully prepared for this wonderful section with him. Mr. Bosun Musa is currently the MD of Dun and Dusted, a cleaning service that is based on the island in Lagos. Currently, they have about 350 staff and 95 facilities they oversee. He belongs to professional bodies like ISI, that's one of the biggest professional bodies. He belongs to CIPAN. He is an electromechanical engineer. So this evening, he'll be sharing with us the passion that he had that will make an electromechanical engineer to become a cleaning professional. So at this time, made welcome of Mr. Bosun Musa. Mr. Bosun Musa, can we have you? Hello, sir. Mr. Bosun, we are ready for you. Hello, Mr. Bosun.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Paul, for having me on your platform and the whole of Riobo team. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. My name is Bosun Musa. I'm the MD and the co-founder of Dun and Dusted Cleaning Services. Yeah, personally, I'm a husband, a foodie, and a family-oriented man. And I'm an electromechanical engineer by profession, also with experience in the media and branding industry before I now deviated into cleaning and hygiene industry. That was like about 2 years ago, before the pandemic. So that's all about me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bosun Musa, for this brief introduction about yourself. You told us it's just 2 years. Wow. Okay, we've heard that it was during COVID you bettered your company Dun and Dusted. Can you share with us what brought about the vision in the midst of pandemic? It was such a very terrible and very devastating time globally when people are losing their jobs and people are losing money. That was when you were able to bet such a very heavy vision. So can you tell us what actually inspired the vision? What brings about the vision of you giving birth to Dun and Dusted during the pandemic?
Yes, the pandemic was a shock to everybody, and it's really affected about 90 to 95% of the global economy. So before the pandemic, I was into oil and gas on the new scale. So I was doing supply, mostly AGO diesel. And at that time, when the lockdown started, we thought it was a joke. And it happened first week, second week, third week. Then we started entering the first months. And our major clients at that point were commercial businesses and the hospitality industry. I mean, the restaurants, hotel, and the rest. And at that time, everything was shut down. So apart from that, myself and my wife, because my wife, she has always been a very particular person, very disciplined. She likes her team to be in the right place at the right time. She's very well organized. Let me use that word. He's very organized. And myself, I'm a hands-on person. You know, I like to make sure that my environment is very tidy as well. So there was a day, you know, we've been at home just by ourselves. We've brainstorm, we've relaxed, we've rest, we've talked about the job. So we're just like brainstorming about moving forward after pandemic. So what can we do after pandemic? Because at that time the pandemic really affected the commercial space, and we did not see ourselves, you know, bouncing back as soon as possible. So, and also we wanted to be part of the solution. You know, wanted to be a part, no matter how small it is, no matter how minute it is. At least our efforts can be collective with the global effort and make our planet safe again for us and conducive. So that was how we gave birth to Done and Dusted Cleaning Services. And ever since then, you know, we started up. We were consistent. We were focused. We did not forget our primary objective. And now I think now I can probably say Done and Dusted has given birth to other two brands. That's the Oppository Care Nigeria, and that's the Pest Control and Fumigation Company. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Bosun, thank you for that. He said it was during the pandemic you and Madam was actually brainstorming. You were actually thinking of putting an end
Yes.
to the global menace. Wow, wow, wow. Another question we ask to like, he said currently, how so are you currently managing your group size? I mean, in terms of recruiting quality and managing them at such a dynamic rate at which your company is actually growing. How are you managing your growth size? Sorry, hold on, Mr. Bosun. Please hold on, Mr. Bosun. Please, can everyone mute themselves, please? This question is being recorded. Can everyone mute themselves, please? Let everyone mute themselves, please. Let everyone mute themselves.
I do hear from my sister.
I think you have the option to mute everybody.
Yeah, that is done already. So you can go ahead into our question. We said, how are you currently managing your group size? We heard that you have about 350 clients. That's I say clients, I beg your pardon, staff. You know, that's a big staff base. How are you currently managing them in terms of recruiting quality team and managing them at the same time in order to deliver a very quality job to your clients? So can you just share with us how you're actually managing 350 staff, you know?
Okay, for that, I would say we did not start from here. You know, we started from somewhere about 2 years ago, not up to 2 years ago. We started from somewhere, and when we started, it was myself and two of my staff. So we grew up, we grew up in time, you know, expressing. Can you mute? Hello?
Yeah, we're actually doing that. I don't know why people are coming on and we've done that. We've muted them.
Okay, so we started from somewhere. We started from we were 3 in number that started, and we were able to contain ourselves first, you know. Then gradually we started growing, and we were growing in experience as well. So the first thing first, by the time we plan to scale up, what we did was to partner with a recruiting agency. So we tell them our requirements, our standards, the kind of staff we will want them to recruit for us. So apart from that, we invested so much in training our staffs, and we invested time, like so we invested so much in the quality assurance team. You understand? From different level from different management level. So we have team leaders, we have quality control officers, we have managers that manage, group of people. And at the same time, we schedule training for them. And me, myself, and the top management team, we take our time to visit all our sites. Understand? So we are always there working with them. We are always, our presence is not out of sight. You understand? We're always there to enforce our standard. We always make sure that when it's due, we train, and we keep reminding them the same thing day by day and week by week. So it's more of investment in all ways, like from training, your time, enforcing standard, and majorly investing in equipment and technology. So at our size now, we have a software that we use to manage our operation and process, and that has really helped us as well.
Wow. Thank you very much. If I summarize this, you said you're three number that actually started, but you were growing in experience. You partnered with recruiting agency, and you told them the quality you're actually looking at. That's awesome. So you invested so much too in training, so that could actually bring out the best in your staff. And you had a quality assurance team. Also, you have managers who visit your workstations to ensure that the quality and the standard you have set is actually being enforced.
Wow. And enforced, yes.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
So what is the most challenging problem you have ever had encountered during your cleaning journey so far? What's the most challenging problem you've ever encountered that makes you feel like, oh, this is too much for me to bear? I can't bear it all alone, and it seems overwhelming. You feel like tilting. You understand? Can you just share with us one of the most challenging problem you've ever had as a cleaning professional? That's one. It's a two-question type. Then the part B of that question: how were you able to bounce back? Can you share with us some strategies you put into place for you to actually bounce back?
Okay, to be honest, yes, there are challenges, but there has never been a time where I'm frustrated and I want to give up on done and dusted, because like I said earlier on, it's more than rendering a cleaning service. You understand? So the goal of done and dusted cleaning service is broad. It's beyond rendering cleaning service. We're going into education. We're going into research and development, and so it's wide. So the cleaning process at the startup is just like a warm-up race for us, because we're just about to enter the next phase of our execution. So there's never been a time. However, there have been a lot of challenges, and that's circles usually around staff and personnel. It's about the recruitment. We are dealing with workers that have no experience in a corporate organization or in an organized environment. So it's a whole lot of work, first thing, to recruit them, to start training them, to train them to unlearn first and start relearning the standards. It's a whole lot. It's very It's very exhausting sometimes. You know, we keep repeating the same thing day after day, month after month. Sometimes it can be exhausting, but nevertheless, we were able to enforce our standard. You know, we let a lot of people go. We recruited many, you know. But the most sad part of it is when you've invested in training, and at that time that you were supposed to actually be, you know, benefiting from them, that's the time they want to go. They don't even, most of them don't even give you notice. They just, after their after their salary for that month, they just disappear, you know. And it's because the demographic of people that we employ, they are people that they are just trying to hustle. Understand? They don't really have a plan for themselves. They've not really decided on what they want for themselves at that time. So they are more of like a part-time worker. So going forth and back on staffing, it's a hustle on its own, but at least we've tried to sort that out. That's why we partner with the recruiting agency on that, in that aspect.
Oh, so
Yeah.
far so good now. If staffing that has given you the most difficult challenges so far, and you'll be able to overcome them by ensuring that you outsource that
Yes.
to a recruiting agency so that you can actually take that burden off you. So when they employ
Yes.
them for you,
And also, okay, and also, you know, it's in Nigeria, when you're starting up a new business, the economy, the government, it's already a 50 down for you. So you have to fight against a whole lot to come up from -50 to 0, to now start from 0 to 1, 20, 30, 40. So that's a big challenge on its own. And startup capital is very, very, very huge, you know, and that's a lot of challenge too. Because when we started at first, though, yeah, we started with equipment and machineries, but when you try to attempt bigger projects, and you realize that you need more equipment, and equipment are very expensive. You know, mostly when you want to go for the original brands, then we don't just buy equipment. We try to buy something that is durable, something that is efficient and sustainable. So, and if you have to go for that quality, you have to pay a lot, you know. And the economy, the difference between naira and dollar, the exchange rates really made a lot of things worse too. You know, and growth generally is a challenge because every time you're thinking of growth, you're thinking of sacrifice, you're thinking of expense, and you know, a lot of pullback. So those are enough challenge, but they are not enough for me to want to give up and don't understand.
Oh, thank you for this. Thank you for this that you're able to share with us. So because I'm actually writing down to myself, I've yet to learn from the clean door, like you call yourself. So you said, if I would paraphrase that, from the challenges that you currently face are just every challenge that is normal to every startup cleaning professional. The startup capital is there as a challenges.
Any startup, any startup, yes. This is not part. This is not there. It's not particular to cleaning service alone. It's general for
every startup.
Yeah.
So you talk of the governmental and the economical policy, then you talk of the staffing. If I'm able to jot down that 3 points, that those are the challenges that, and you've been mention of how you actually overcome them. Okay, I'll move to the next question now. In terms of attracting high-level clients and maintaining them, because most of your clients, they are the good
your voice is glitching.
Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, I've done that.
Okay, thank you.
So I said, Now, in terms of attracting high luxury quality, luxury clients and maintaining them, it's not alone that you have high luxury clients who are currently paying you or who are actually you're servicing. How do you maintain them? So what method or strategy have you been using in getting high luxury clients and also maintaining them at the same frequency? If you can actually share that with us.
Okay, first I would say we began with the end in mind. You know, before we started, you said we began with the end in mind. So before we when we were actually brainstorming about Donald's doorstep, we were actually brainstorming about it, and I remember part of the development plan was, okay, if we're starting this project, what is the focus? What is the focus? Who are the target audience? We took our time again to study our major competitors, like the people that we feel like they are topping the industry at that time, they were doing well, that we look up to, you know. So we try to study them as well, and we try to study them as well. And what we did was to define ourselves and say, okay, this is our target on this. This is how we want to plan to reach them, and we came up with a plan. So by the time we started, we started doing direct marketing at first. We started doing direct marketing to our contact, family, friends, and we got the first 2, 3, 4 jobs. And apart from that, my wife, she's into real estate, so she's had a relationship with developers that are into luxury buildings. So she has relationship with developers that are into luxury building. So that was a very direct for us. You know, when she closes the transaction, then we claim. So how do we maintain them? So that's the major key to our business. You know, we believe in satisfying customers. No matter what it takes, we love to satisfy the customer, because our target audience, they have a level of they have a standard when it comes to services. You understand? And for us to be able to attract them, we have to up our game, set our standards so high that we can actually satisfy them and service them well. So we're focused on our deliverables. That's why, and at the same time, we target a particular area. We're not just everywhere. You know, people call us, can you clean in Ikeja for us? Can you clean in Port Harcourt for us? Yes, we can, but at the moment, we're so focused on our market and on our audience that we don't want to be distracted. You know, we can't move around too much. So we invest most of our time, instead of investing much in logistics and traveling so far to work, we make sure that we are within our location, and we are able to put all our efforts in quality service delivery. You understand? So that's key. And at the same time, we're able to, you know, brand ourselves well, make sure that our client, our staffs, they are looking up to par, because branding is key for us, and we don't joke with branding. Our cleaning technicians, they represent us, they are our ambassadors. So we train them from hygiene to personal behavior, and how to relate with clients. So at the long run, I would say our key, the key, our key of holding our clients is customer service and making sure our customers are satisfied before we evacuate the facility.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bosun. Currently, I hear most people say
And
the market is
and again,
saturated.
if I would choose, okay,
No, you can go on.
okay,
You can go on.
and
I
again,
thought
if
you
I
were
would
done.
chip
That's
in,
what I
I would
was.
say, yeah, I would say, yeah, customer service is very key for us. Customer satisfaction is very key for us. We invested in the right tools, and machineries that enable us to deliver our service efficiently and at the right time. So that's another competitive edge for us um, in keeping our clients. And I would say when we check our books and we're trying to look at our performance for the past 100, for the last 100 projects we've completed when it comes to one-off contract cleaning, and we notice that we see it's very clear that we got about 78% referral and 22% from online, like our clients. So people we have worked for actually they will actually refer us to their friends and their family. That okay, if you have to work with any cleaning service, these people, they are there to satisfy you. They are there to make sure that you achieve a goal.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bosun.
Thank you.
It's just been it's been an awesome section with you. The notebook is filled up already. I'm turning up to the next page now. You said customer satisfaction is very key to your complaint. That is why you've been able to keep maintaining high luxury clients. Branding is very key to training of the technician, from the hygiene to personal behavior. Is one of the way too that you have been able to maintain and keep your clients. You also talk about investment into machineries, which is able to help you deliver quality and efficient results. That's very fantastic. I've learned that too. Currently, the market is saturated, maybe because of the economic situation. You understand? I don't want to admit that it is only only the cleaning industry that is currently saturated. Even the POS on our streets, everywhere, every market is just saturated. But let me see if there's some things you can still chip in for us, because I think this last question we asked you has actually answered it. We actually wanted to ask you that what is giving you your competitive edge? But I think with this that you have mentioned, customer satisfaction, branding, continuous training, investment into machinery, has given you your competitive edge. Wow. Wow. Okay, quick one. Startup capital. How were you able to raise it? Because as a cleaning coach, one of the most frequent questions I get from people is how do I start? How do I get money? Personally, I'm an advocate of not going for bank loan because it's very, very killing, especially for a startup capital. The payback interest is not something. So I actually find means to tell them, okay, there is this means of save before you actually start your business. Give yourself time, you understand, to actually save your business. So, but personally, we want to know, how were you able to raise capital for your business?
Àti kí ni orí bẹ́yìn àbí? Ó ní èsì kan náà, orí èsì ẹ̀ ṣowó èsì ẹ̀. Ó nù. Níbi rúùmù yẹn. Èsì yẹn dẹ̀dẹ̀tì. Ṣé wọ́n ti paná ni?
Someone else.
Okay, you can go on. The person is being muted.
It's okay. So startup capital. To start up, if startup capital it's quite high when you want to start well and you want to start strong and competitive. So
please, Mr. Musa, I want you to repeat that again.
I say startup budget is quite high. If you want to start well, if you want to start strong and competitive. So
sorry, I have to cut you. Do you know why I ask you to re-emphasize that to our participants or audience?
Yeah.
You know, people out of this philosophy that start anyhow, you grow big. And I as a cleaning coach, I've told people that if you start that way, you might not grow big. You understand? So I like the fact that you said starting budget is very high. So you can go on, sir.
Okay, so for us, when the idea came up, then we put together a plan, and the plan contained most of the information we need, from the financing, the goal, the vision, our targets, our process, you know. So after we put all that together, then we're able to see that, okay, this seems reasonable and achievable. Then the capital, like 95% of the capital came from the family. So it's a family business, actually. Yeah, it's a family business. It's co-owned by myself and my wife. So it's a family investment. And yes, but apart from that, if you don't have enough to start, if you have a very transparent, straightforward, reasonable, and achievable business plan, you could approach people who can buy the idea and invest in your startup, because
Wow.
it is very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're on the same page with me. I tell people, once you have a very solid business plan, you can actually attract angel investors.
Yes, you can.
Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I don't really think our Africa really believe in I mean, you know, most of us, once we conceive the idea,
Yes.
most of us, when we conceive the idea of once we conceive the idea of cleaning business, you know, the problem with us is that we want to manage it and want to own it to ourselves. So
True.
we don't actually want to sell the idea out.
True, that's very true. But I feel like if the person is thinking big, then you should be open to partnership, because partnership will not only help you financially, it will help you with they say two heads are better than one. And when you understand that other people are involved in this, you'll be on the seat to put in your best, you know, and deliver the company to the right place. And the challenge about partnership majorly is that it's not everybody. It's not like majority of the people cannot execute plans. You understand? So it's not, sometimes why investors are a bit tricky on investing is because they know that, yeah, you have a fantastic proposal. It's I can see the figures, I can see the growth in the first year, second year, third year, based on what you put down. But in reality, how can you drive that? How can you push that? So that's it alone. It's enough to pull investors down back, but you have to be strong enough to prove yourself right and worthy. Yeah. And again, idea is an idea. Idea is just everywhere in the air. You understand? Sometimes, like before, I I wake up to so many ideas, but ideas is just an idea. Nobody is stealing it. As you plan to start a cleaning company, someone somewhere else is trying to start a cleaning company. So sharing a business plan with someone who can invest or bringing someone on board should not be something to scare of, if you have a very open mind and you're willing to grow far. Because now you're not just sharing, you're sharing the risk as well as you share the profits. So it's a win-win. at all cost for you. If you partner, if you partner. And if you don't want to partner, there are other investment options. You can go for loan, but I'm not going to advise you. This is Nigeria. Are you there?
Sorry, come again. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Yeah. You said something now. I said, can you just please repeat yourself again?
Okay, I said idea is everywhere in the head. So if you have an idea to start up a cleaning business, does not mean that thousands of Nigerians are not thinking of starting a cleaning business. So it's not something, it's not a secret document, because it's not enough to have an idea. It's not enough to dream. Execution is very, very important. Bringing it up to reality,
very important.
Yes, bringing it into reality is the work, is not the idea. You understand? The real work is bringing the idea into reality. So if you are the person that you think that you need to partner with someone to make that idea come into reality, then you should. Yeah. Like Done and Dusted was an idea at a point in time, and we put in the work. Yeah, it's even the work was not just one person thing. You know, it's a collective effort from different aspects. You understand? So we are two. At first, when we started, she's going to bring in clients from our industry, and we will work for. Then from there, we build our own portfolio. We build trust. We build standard, and we were able to get referral from there on. And of course, we employed. Okay, let me not go too far. Are you there?
Okay. I think you've actually dealt with the financial part of the business, especially for those who are just starting.
We'll get your. Get my what? Why are you taking it? I used to drink it. Yes, keep it. I'm drinking it, and I'm drinking it. It's not fine.
Savings.
It's not fine. Can
you mute your mic? So, Mr. Bosun.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask, do you have any advice for newbies or those who just want to start up the cleaning business? What's your advice for those who are about to start a cleaning business, and what's your advice for them?
I will advise them to put first thing first. They have to research and seek knowledge in the industry. You have to have full knowledge and understanding about the industry you want to dive into. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is due diligence. Doing your paperwork, coming up with your brand name, registration. Register with CAC. That's if you're operating your business in Nigeria. And if you're listening outside Nigeria, or you want to start a cleaning business outside Nigeria, you have to register with your Corporate Affairs Commission in that country. That is very, very important. And if you want to do professional business, it is very key that you have a bank account. That is the way you can it's very important that you have a bank account, because that is part of the way you can transact with corporate bodies. You must to have a detailed and well spelled out business plan and a business model that you want to follow. At the same time, yeah, you must be on the ground. You must be on the ground, because you have to be on the ground, because you have to learn on the field. And it is very, very, very important if you want to start as an investor, or you want to start cleaning business as a career. It is very, very important that you are fully involved. If you can't be fully involved, then you have to employ someone who is capable of handling the process for you. And our advice, if you are going to employ someone for that job, you have to pay the person well, because the person must have your interest at heart. So cleaning business, you have to be on board to enforce the standard, to interact with the customer, with the customers, to understand customers' behavior, at the same time to understand your workers' behavior. Because don't forget, we're dealing with people who are not, who have little or no experience in working in a corporate organization. And if you're dealing with luxury or corporate clients, you better train your staff well, or you better train your staff well, because they are your products. They are the one going inside there to represent you. You know, already cleaning the service, so their behavior is part of the service, is part of the products you offer. So it is very, very key. So you have to be on ground. You have to be on ground to enforce everything, to champion everything, at least for the first year of the business, because at that time, the possibility of the business crumbling is very, very high. So you have to be there. It's a very sensitive period. That period means a lot to the growth of your business. So you have to be on ground.
All right, thank you very much. It's been a very awesome section with you, like I said. Can you just give us in a short summary how to survive as a cleaning professional despite the current economic challenges? As in, can you just tell us how we can survive the orders of the day? You talk of economic challenges in terms of forex exchange, to get machines, you understand, you know, getting trained guys. You know, most of them don't want to work again. They are just after frivolities, how to make money from Yahoo and other social vices. You know, that's one of the tough challenges too we have when it comes to staffing, because most people don't really want the young men who fall between that age group that are meant to work. Most of them are after societal vices or frivolities. So how can just summarize for us how, as a cleaning professionals, how can we survive in the current economic situation? I want you to bring it down to our own nation now, Nigeria. You understand? I know for every part of the world, everyone has, I mean, every country is having their own current challenges now. But if you look at us as a nation, don't let me use the word is peculiar. Do you understand? So how do you advise us? I mean, what advice do you have for us as a cleaning professional? What are the things you think we can look more to? Can we still diversify in this business so that we can be able to meet up the day-to-day challenges in the cleaning business?
Yes. First of all, I would say cut your costs, maintain your standard, and diversify, because the cleaning and hygiene industry, it's a very huge one. You know, like don't be scared of collaborations. You know, don't be scared of collaboration. Collaborate with experts in the industry. You know, do apart from the cleaning service. You know, cleaning is very wide. It's not just to clean an apartment. It's not just to, there are other things to clean. You can go into upholstery cleaning service, you know, to earn yourself more revenue and balance up. Or like a lot of cleaning company does, they are into fumigation and pest control. But I'll advise before you go into that direction, because a bit of a technical one, you should try and seek knowledge, undergo training if you have to, and understand the chemical you want to deal with. So, and be certified. It is very, very important. You can't just handle chemical because you want to diversify. You understand? That is a different ballgame on its own. But at least, yeah, it's an opportunity to explore. And yes, cut your costs. Very, very important. Cut your costs. Cut your costs. At all means, let your supervisor be on their toes, because you see all these workers, they just want a lazy way of doing things. Understand? They want a lazy way of doing things, and at the long run, it's going to cost you more. They just want to hustle. They just want to. They feel like if they add more detergent, it's going to make the work easier for them. But no, they're going to be increasing your operational cost, because a detergent that's supposed to last for about 2 weeks, you now find that you are replacing it in a week or less than a week. So you still have to make sure that your quality control team, your supervisor or management team are on these people that are enforcing the standard, and they're constantly reminding them of their duty day by day, minute by minute.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bosun. You have said so much today that by the time we can actually even make a book out of it, we want to use this privilege to actually appreciate you for your time, for honoring us.
Thank you.
We're Training Academy spoke about having you on the webinar, and you actually sacrificed, to actually be with us, because I want to make want to have an open ground now, contribution and question from the partaking audience. You understand?
Okay.
You say something.
The last thing I would like to say that don't really come up from the question is it's very, very, very important that you present yourself the way you want to be addressed or accepted. Branding is very key in whatsoever you're doing. The way you portray your brand goes a very, very long way. You understand? If you want to attract birds, just just carry birds on your head and walk around the jungle. Birds will come. So you have to portray what the kind of energy you want. You understand? Your branding, your profile needs to speak a lot about you. It needs to speak volume about your brand even before they get to talk to you. Someone can come across you and decide that they want to work with you without having the first conversation. So that is very, very important. And also for upcoming, so people who are willing to start a career in the cleaning and hygiene industry, it is very, very, very important to take advantage of the hybrid marketing. That's the digital marketing. You understand? It's very good to take advantage, explore all platforms, don't abuse them, use them well, present yourself as a professional. And it's going to go a long way, and it's going to add value to yourself and your brand.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bosun. Thank you very much. I have two people that I would like them to contribute. They're actually online.
Okay.
My friend and my brother, the lead coach of PCB Training Academy, is here with us. Engineer Lutayo Pompey. Engineer Lutayo Pompey will have you in the house. You understand? That's our guy. That's one of our guy, our boss, our mentor. We've always look forward to him. Engineer Pompey, we want you to speak first, Engineer Pompey, probably summarize or contribute to what Mr. Bosun has said. And I would like to call Pastor Dapo too, Adeshokon. I would want both of you to actually contribute before we start taking questions. Engineer Pompey, I've unmuted you. You can go ahead, sir. Hello, Engineer Pompey. Hello, Engineer Pompey, are you there? Okay, Pastor Dapo, Ade Dapo Shokon, I have unmuted you, please. I will want you to contribute. Pastor Dapo. Okay.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, all right.
Good evening. That's
Yeah,
Pastor Dapo, right?
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Bosun Musa. How's everything? I came a bit late on the platform because of other engagements, and the little I was able to get from you, definitely, I'm sure I will get the recording from the beginning. You've been able to help us to understand how to put our companies, how to deal with clients, what are the necessary things to put in place. And sincerely speaking, majority that are on the platform tonight, they really needs to get the nitty-gritty of, okay, the industry, the business. Yeah, you have dealt with the financial part of it, which you are not totally breaking down to them when you said, okay, if they are going to set up, that the setting up capital is there. But I'm sure people want a bit of figures, okay? Because what they want is a bit of figures, okay? What are we looking at? And at the same time, okay, you have to brand, you have to, all these things, they have idea of it. But what I believe the majority of people want to know is that, okay, if you are talking of branding, how do we go? Mr. Paul have been talking about, okay, you must equip your company very well. Definitely the way they see you is the way they accept you. Definitely, if you want to scale very high, you must hugely invest into your business. All those things are necessary. But I went through the participants, and I think I've been on some platform that I've seen some of them on the platform. And I know that, okay, these are people that have done 1 year, probably 2 years, probably less than 6 months. And they are truly looking forward to breaking things down properly for them, so that whatever they take from this platform tonight, they can run with it. It's just going to be like, okay, someone have just given us what to work with. You understand? Ideas are everywhere. Many have ideas of what to do. Is how to do it. Is the how that people are looking at. How do I go about clients? How do I go about registration? How do I go about keeping staff, training staff, and everything? We thank God that we thank many of the people that are putting up seminars and webinars like this for free. I mean, it's amazing. I see that happen a lot. Almost every Sunday, somebody is doing something to just help the industry, move the people forward and everything. And Mr. Bosun Musa, I must really commend you tonight for taking out time to spend so much time to put this across to us. Thank you so much. And Mr. Paul, thank you so much. Your boots highly appreciated. Thank you. God bless you. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Adedapo Shoko. You see, for that bill, you understand, for the breakdown of the cost of starting a cleaning business. It varies depending on the area of the cleaning industry you want to start from. You know, if you're going to stay in the residential, if you're going to stay in the industrial. So that is why there's no specified amount. You understand? But I, as a clinic coach, most times when I do consultation, I just give a range. And it depends on where the vision, the scope of your vision, you understand now. If you want to go into aviation cleaning, it's quite different. You want to start. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. It depends on where you want to start. Where do you want to pitch your tent? Where do you want to carve your niche? You understand? I think residential cleaning is the one you can easily start up with few amount of money in the cleaning industry. Aviation, facade cleaning, that's the RS cleaning, commercial. Sir?
I said it still depends on how you want to start. You know, for example, the basic equipment or the very necessary equipment that you have to start with as a professional cleaning company, the vacuum cleaners, because you need to dust from railings, window railings, and corner that you can't really gain access to. So vacuum cleaner is very, very important. And when we're talking about vacuum cleaners, it still depends on the brand you want to go for. That's where the prices range. You know, it still depends on everybody's pockets. And on the average, if you want to get a decent vacuum cleaner, not a German product, at least with 70,000-80,000 naira, you can get a vacuum cleaner. But if you want to go for the industrial and the German product are very much durable, like ours, you can budget from 400,000 upward, depending on the size as well. And apart from vacuum cleaner, that is very, very important. Like there's a saying that if you don't have a flush scrubber, you're not starting a cleaning business, because it's the major tool for the business, and it also depends on the brand you want to go for. So I've seen some online, like the flush scrubber. Some of them are going for about 300 between 300 to 400,000 naira range. That's for other brands. But if you want to go for quality brand as well, you maybe, for example, the German brands, you should have a budget of, let's say, between 700 to 1.2 million or more, depending on the brand you're buying and the efficiency. So those are the two major machines that are required for startups. Apart from that, then you can now start doing the tools, the scraper, your duster, your mops, your packers, then squeegee for windows. Then if you want to handle heights, you can start talking about telescopic cylinders, you know. Yeah, but at least you just have to, on the average, if you want to start a functional professional cleaning company, on the average with other brands, it's something you could kick off with less than $1 million. But it still depends on how you want to start, because some people invest over 5-10 million naira on their equipment for startups. So it depends on how you want to start and your target audience, what they expect from you, or what the standard is. So that's on the costing. So it's open. It depends on your pocket. It depends on how you want to start it. And I've also seen people who have started their cleaning business without vacuum machine. You know, they take their time, they use the manual foam method, you know, to make sure that they pick out the dust out of window railings one after the other. And they still get the job done. It might not be 100% effective as to when you use a vacuum machine, but at least you still get the job done. And when you start making money, you can save up to start buying your machines. And also, for the floor scrubber, people do floor manually, depending on your client's requirements. You understand? It depends on your client's requirement. It depends on the type of dirt you want to deal with on the floor. And if you can't really afford to buy a floor scrubber there are other options. you can start renting just for a startup. You know, you can start renting. There are a lot of people who rent out plus program machine. But the other tools, the scraper, your mop, your squeegee, your other tools, those are things you can easily have access to. You can easily buy from the market. So it's very important. We, as a organization, we started with a couple of machines before we start to improve on them, buy more. We started with vacuum machine, floor scrubber. We have a different floor buffering machine with 1,500 RPM. That's totally different from the basic floor scrubber. We also have the high pressure washing machine. We
okay,
also,
Mr. Paul, I think I'm on.
Okay.
We also got the air pressure machine. So we, starting up, we invested a lot on equipment. So that was part of our own strength. It was part of our own strategy, you know, to pull out and be able to stand up to the task. So it differs. It differs. The first thing first is the passion and putting your book together and understanding what it takes to execute a cleaning project, from the proposal angle to recruiting to getting the job and getting the job done. Understanding the chemicals as well. There are a lot of stores where you can buy solutions for cleaning, and the word is like that, imbibing the green culture now. So we're trying to move away from acidic chemicals and moving towards the more of alkaline chemicals that are more friendly at home and in the industry. So all these things are readily available. And material is not something you need a bulk capital for. It's something you can buy at a go for a particular project. You understand? So starting up, it's very important you understand your budget. If you have an investor, if you can start big, it's important. You should start big. But if you have to start small, then cleaning business is something you can go on starting with small capital. It all depends on your strength and your strategy to enter the industry.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bosun. Thank you very much. I think Engineer Pompey is on now. So Engineer Pompey, you can come in.
Good evening, Mr. Paul.
Good evening, Pompey.
Mr. Bosun, happy to hear from you again. And I'm happy that we've seen live and direct. That was a very great one, sir. I definitely appreciate this that Mr. Pro brought up, because it's something everybody needs, and that's why most people, they keep coming for training. You just mentioned something that really struck my mind, which is the passion, and that is the campaign. I say, like what John Maxwell says, he said, failing forward. When you fail forward, that's where you're peaking. And there's something I would like us to talk about, which you've mentioned all. That's why I said we need to learn. Learning is a process. It can never be finished. Just like we're talking about progress. Progress loves speed, but depends on your speed of your thought. That's when I talked about people talking about money. We just mentioned money. Money has to do everything, but sometimes you need to aspire to acquire the passion you admired. The more you have this, the more you're ready to go. And what stops most people in business is because there's some strong holding. And that is why I said we need to stop it, because we all know that focus creates blindness if we leave down. It's not all about teaching people how to start this business. Just like the way you broke it down for us, we are ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. But why don't we talk people how they can stay in the business? That is why, we have our focus magnified. We have the solid form, we have the liquid form, the liquid stage, the solid stage, and the gaseous stage. It depends on the stage you are. If this one is not working for you, move to the other one. Mr. Bosun have really broken down, and Mr. Paul, you're really doing good work. One thing about cleaning business that we need to know, we have what we call no income activities, and we have the low income activities, and we have the high income activities. We definitely, you have to fall in 3 out of the 3, you fall in 1. So the one you have, sometimes you're doing business, you're not making money. Those are the no income activity, but you are doing the business. We have the low income. They are doing the business, but the money that comes in is just for them to eat. Why the high income activities? These are the people that make the money. That's where we are talking about Mr. Paul. That's why I want to be like him when I grow up. I'm talking about Mr. Bosun. But that's the lighter. But what we are looking at is, let's go for that training. That training that you just talk about, train your people, know how to start. Never believe in social media activities. I keep telling people, if you believe in what people post, you will not move. Some people are posting just to get, that is how they can get their own traffic. So know what you're doing. That is what makes you to move. If John Maxwell has spoken about what do you think? A lot of people ought to have started this business. Never think because Mr. Bosun or Mr. Paul told you not to go and get loan. It's because it's not working for some people. It might work for you. That was why Mr. Bosun said it, that family, friends, and all that. Loan might work for you. If it doesn't, we are just making a campaign that don't go and do what will hurt you. Because a lot of people, that we have 4 stages, but we can't talk this one. We have a training, Mr. Paul knows that we break this thing down. We're talking about immersion of business. Immerse yourself. You can't just be equipped without getting to that stage. So, but today is not a day of our lecture, but what Mr. Bosun has spoken, he has spoken a very vital thing that we need to know. That is why we all know that. How do you, see, there's this saying, everybody should know, I don't know if we all know it. They said, how you do one thing is how you do everything, and that is how you do your life. So we all need to study, we all need to know. This business is very easy to enter, and that is the most risky business you have to be careful of. If you don't start well, you will end well. You won't end well. So, Mr. Bosun, you've done a very good job, and a lot of things that disturbed us. Number one, you've mentioned it, people that go for passionate. If you want to be passionistic about business, you won't start the business. Because Mr. Bosun, Mr. Paul, Engineer Pumping, or Dr. Pumping, whatever, have told you that you need money to start the business. You are now sitting down. You need to make that move first. Don't let your certificate be your life. Make your life that certificate. Thank you. I won't go more because, you know, we are trainers, and the more they give us that time, we will take all the whole time. Thank you, Mr. Paul. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Pompey. Good to have you. Thank you for the time. We also have Mr. Femi Kinrin. I have unmuted you. Are you good to talk to us, Mr. Femi?
Very well.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. God bless you.
Amen,
I want to appreciate everyone on the platform, though I wouldn't say I've been able to listen to everything Mr. Bosun said, because I'm also actually in between 2 things. But I try to make sure that I'm able to give a good level of attention to this. There's just one area I want to comment on. Basically, it's about the financing of the business. I still belong to the school of thought that, one, you can start small and grow big.
True.
I also still believe strongly, just as Mr. Bosun said, that it depends on how you want to start, which I actually quite agree with. I also know that cleaning business is one of those businesses you can start with 0 capital. And the reason is this is one of the businesses that are funded by the client. For instance, I want to do a job for a client. I calculate the cost of doing it. And if I am not so much interested of being on the fast lane of saying I want to eat my cake and have it. If I want to, if I believe in what is called, what we call delayed gratification, that whatever I get from this client A, I also go ahead to rent some of the things I must rent. And like Mr. Bosun said, that depending on the request or the demands of your client, there are some clients that are not bothered about what you use. All they need that you have given them a good job within the space of time that you have allotted to it. Because you must bear this in mind that when you tell a client will finish his job in 2 days and it's taking 1 week, I can bet it with you that he will see a lot of errors on that job because he's already angry that he wants to go ahead to begin to spot errors. So ensuring that you give the client the number of days that is required to do the job. Now, let me also say this, that there are people who have the machine and then they don't even know how to use the machine, or the result of the machine is not as good as the result given by somebody who is doing his work manually. So we must understand the fact that that is also a challenge. As it were, when you now want to start small, it is important that you don't try to pull down the people you meet ahead of you, because integrity is also key. Now you are starting small. I give an example of a particular young man around me. I wouldn't even say young man. I think he should be in the neighborhood of 42 or over 40 or thereabouts. But he came into the industry and he looked up to us to mentor him. So sometimes he would say he wants to, quote for a job. And he would need me to assist if I'm even writing, proposals or whatever. And we do help. We will go and help him look for a job, and we tell him, okay, this is how much. If you quote between this and that, it will be okay. And we would help you if there is a need. Now, where integrity comes in is that sometimes he comes around to get our equipment. We will give it to him at some prices that we know is highly discounted. But it got to the point that this fellow will now come to my office or try to speak with some of my staff, trying to tell them how they can sneak out my equipment to give to him. They don't need to talk to me about it. So you see, such a person can't last in the industry, especially when you don't have the capital to actually go all the way. So, well, because we have a kind of relationship with my personnel, with my staff, everything he discuss with them, they will tell me. So they will just say, please be careful with this man. Be careful with this man. Be careful with this man. I think there had been a couple of jobs that we got or that we bidded for, and he also wanted to bid for the same job, I think once or twice. And he told us, and I said, guy, this particular one, you need us to come and help you do the costing. We have already written a proposal to this place. And there's no way we can now tell you how much to cost for this, but use the leverage on the knowledge we have given you before.
Yes.
To do the cost. This kind of a person is somebody that when you organize training, or you tell, even this kind of training now, you ask him to come, he won't come. You organize free training, he won't be there. You organize paid training, he won't be there. But when he has a job, he wants to just get crash and he wants you to do everything. So you either know how to cost it, but a job I have bidded for, I would never give you an idea of what to bid for it. I said for two reasons. I will either deliberately give you something that is much higher than what I have quoted for, which is against my conscience. And there's no way I can give you something that is lower than what I have quoted for, because I will be shooting myself at the leg. And I cannot give you exactly what I have quoted. So it is better that I tell you the truth that I have quoted for this. Now, go and do your own independent costing. Now, so this fellow, when he began to now try to see how he will pull me down and remove the ladder from my feet, whenever he comes to to me and said he wants to rent equipment, I will tell him, my equipments are busy. As simple as that. So one of the key things that a startup needs, whether you have the capital or not, is that you need integrity. And we must actually, take that to heart. I also want to advise that sometimes, though we have this fear that no, if the people working under me know what I know, they will pull out. Those who will pull out will pull out. The danger in not taking the workforce is far higher than the danger of taking them through trainings. So, and I still stand to say that some of these trainings that are essential or the basic things that the people need to know, because you know that staffing is a major issue in this industry. Somebody who comes to work for you today, tomorrow you look for another person, and then the day after tomorrow you look for another person. It's not a practice that will help the industry. It's not a practice that will help our companies. But then when we try to have people, now the rule is this: at my own end, if I am going to take you through some level of training, we tend to sign some bonds with you. If I train you to become good, because there's a lot of danger to in hiring somebody who already knows. Because those who already knows, when they come with their standard that sometimes does not even conform with your own company standard. But when you get someone and you take your time to train the person and you tell the person, Oga, if you want to leave before you have spent so number of months or years, this is going to be the consequences. You go into such an agreement and do your best to see how you actually make your place comfortable for them. At the end of the day, you'll be able to have enough people who can stand in the gap for you as much as possible. So I think these are just the few contributions I want to make. So let me just give the floor to some other people. Like I would say that though I'm out of time, but not out of message, as it were.
All right.
But these are just...
Thank you, Mr. Femi. As far as I'm concerned, we quickly want to close up the webinar so that people can prepare for work tomorrow. So let me take some questions from the chat room. He said, one question said, looking at the security of the country, Mr. Musa, are you there? So that I can hear the question. Looking at the security of the country, is it all cleaning jobs we are expected to go, or we have to carry out verification before we go? That's number one. Then number two, please, how can I be a member of CPAN or others cleaning association? That is the two questions we have. Number one, I take again, looking at the security of the country, is it all cleaning jobs we are expected to go, or we have to carry out verification before going? Then two, please, how can I become a CPAN member or other cleaning association? So for the person who wants to join the cleaning association, let me take that. You can private chat me after the meeting, 081-244-79689. That's my personal WhatsApp number. Or you can get our number from the Riobo Training Academy. That's the number to reach out. I'll tell you the people to reach out for to become a member of CPAN. There's so number two question, Mr. Musa, you can help us attend to it. Looking at the current situation of the country in terms of security, how do we verify jobs before going for it?
Yeah, security is very, very, very important, at this day, the way things are going. And that is why it's important to have your own territory when it comes to going to do one of the clinic. Understand? If you're working with a corporate organization, it's a different case. They can call me at Abuja. Okay, submit your CV, come and inspect our plant. And if I can verify that this person is the representative of this organization, and I'm getting message from the direct, like from a direct contact, I'll carry out my research. It's easy for me. I can easily trust that contact. And if I'm going to go for inspection, then I know that I'm going to a company or an organization that is more open. But for one of the cleaning, like someone just pick up a call and call me to come and clean. I have my territory, and it is not, you can't clean for everybody. Let me just put that out there. You can't clean for everybody. That's why it's important to have your own niche and have your own territory. It will be difficult for someone to come in like John and Dusted, we wanted to come and clean our house at Ibadan or Benin. We will pay you X amount, double what you're paid in Lagos. I'll be very about that. If it's within my territory, my locality, it's easier for me to make my research and inspect where I'm going to work first. Yes, and at the same time, when you're going for inspection, you try as much as possible and register that inspection with your admin or your office. I don't know if I've answered that question.
Yeah, answer the question. So sorry, I'm trying to
mute the people that's coming.
Okay,
that's fine.
David Omotayo he can ask his question. Mr. David Omotayo.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening,
sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, Mr.
Good evening,
Bosun.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. David.
Sir. Well done, sir. Thank you very much for the knowledge that you have been impacting on us, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you for coming up.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question in regards to this cleaning startup of a team. Sir,
okay.
To be sincere with you, when I started the business, just like what Engineer Pompey said, that we have 3 layers in a startup, that you have some that they will take loan, you have some that they will just start off from the clients. Maybe they code for a job, and from there they will get all the necessary equipment that they need for the job. Yes. But sir, my question is that this startup of a thing, I must say it is not everybody that have the privilege of say, okay, oh yeah, I want to get this thing, because there are some clients that you will see when you give them quotation, when you tell them that, sir, this amount of money that it costs for you to do this job, they will not tell you that they will get back to you and they will consult other people, and you will not, because it has happened to me several times that a client will call me, I will give them quotation, they will say they will get back to me, and they will not request for another, maybe from another person, different person, they will get a quotation, and the quotation is always below what I gave them, and at the end of the day, I will end up losing the job. I keep on asking people that what could be the problem? Why? So I later find out that this business, we have professionals and we have quack in this business. There are some people that they have no knowledge of it. I've had several experience when some people will call, they will come to me, they say, we want you to do this thing for us, and at the end of the day, I will find out that they are not even, they just collect the job, they don't know anything about the job. They now stand as a middleman between I and the client. They will be the ones to collect the huge amount of money. They will not be giving me as a company, they will not be giving me, okay, this is the amount that we are going to pay, this is the amount we are going to pay. Sir, Mr. Bosun, please, how do we tackle that? Because it's really a thing of concern to me. Because as a startup, I know where I can get my equipment. Maybe for the one I don't have, I have a man in that one thing where I got all my equipment. I don't have any issue concerning equipment. But this middlemen of a team, people that does not know anything about this job, they will go ahead, collect this job, and they will come to you. They will be giving you shikini money, as if maybe someone is begging them for money. Please, how do we tackle that? Because it's very rampant.
Okay. First of all, question: how competitive is your code? And how competitive is your code? Because if let me put myself in the shoe of a client, and I want to clean my apartment, for example, I'm going to get quotes from. It's possible I get quotes from like 2 to 3 vendors, and weigh my options in terms of the pricing and in terms of the deliverables. You understand? So for a company like Dun and Dusted, when we're raising quotes, we make sure that we list out all the deliverables, and we make sure that we expect before putting out a quotation. You understand? And once you list out the deliverables and that meets your client's demands and your pricing is right, I'm sure you're going to you have an advantage edge in getting that job. You understand? So maybe you need to revisit your quoting system. How do you quote? It's not enough to say, I want to clean your room, I'm charging you X amount for it. Okay, what and what do you want to do? How do you want to go about it? The timing, what I should expect, the deliverables, they are very, very important. So I think you have to go back to your quoting system. The way you quote is very, very important. The presentation, your deliverables, and at the same time, the issue of the middleman getting job and probably taking the larger share of the cost. That one is a two-way thing. It depends on you. How do you want to market your brand? Do you want to take job? Do you want to depend on agency or middleman to give you a job? If you want to do that, then it will be very, very difficult for you to determine your price. It will be very, very difficult for you to determine your price. You might end up not having a choice. Like, okay, I don't need the job. Just give me what it takes to do it. And once you start getting job from that kind of platform or that kind of link, one thing is certain, you're not getting enough money to even execute the job, to not talk of you making profit. So that will directly affect the quality of the service you're going to render. You understand? So as an entrepreneur, I feel it's not enough to just say you started a company, you started a cleaning service. You know, you have to be multi-skilled. You have to be able to reach out. You have to be able to sell your service. You have to be able to find every means to reach out to your audience. First of all, you need to first identify them. Okay, where am I living? I'm living in, probably you're living at somewhere on the mainland. Look at that area that you know that, okay, these people can afford or appreciate or understand the value of the service you're rendering, and direct your marketing towards them. You understand? So from there, you can start creating a one-on-one business relationship between yourself or your brand or your company and your clients. And when you get the first job, you do it well, you satisfy the client. Once the clients are satisfied, it might not be that day, it might not be that week, it might not be that month, but trust me, they are going to refer you. And from there, you start building your own clientele. But first of all, you have to improve in your quoting system. How do you quote? What are the factors that make up? How do you end up on that price? And what are you doing? What are your deliverables? Yes, you can tell me you want to come and clean my 1-bedroom apartment, and you give me price, and you list out what you want to do. You made me understand that after cleaning, the air is going to smell so fresh. You are going to, I understand that all those things are cost. And if I'm getting that value, then I should be able to pay for it. You're not just going to tell me you want to clean my apartment and you're charging this, and that is it. You understand? I will try to look forward to another vendor that can actually give me breakdown and make me feel value for my money, even before the job is done.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bosun. Engineer Pompey, I can see your hands up. Do you have something to say?
Just to buttress what Mr. Bosun said concerning the last speaker, he has spoken well, but I do advise people, when you submit quotation or if you're into bidding, don't think that what you submitted, maybe there's a back door and all that. The moment you believe what you do, but I tell people there's some mistakes we make. Those are the reason why, like Mr. Paul is into training. He will tell you some things. We have what we call quoting expert. This, go online. You might see all those things are free. They said if you want to kill any African man, put that thing on writing. Tell them to read it. They won't. Your quoting, go back to Mr. Bosun have said it. Go back, see on internet, go there, just type latest quoting system. It will bring it out. There's some things we don't put in place that will believe this conventional way of operating. Go to the recent, there's a trend in quoting. I'll tell you those days that you could know. I can tell you what we call quoting with proposal. It's the same. You are quoting, but you are still proposing to someone the other side of your business. It's not just, and make your quotes be analytical. There's another stage that we call analyzing paralysis. You've analyzed, see, you analyzed and you are the one paralyzed. You are the one even telling me that I won't get this job. That is what we call analyzing paralysis stage. Your quotation should analyze you. You are the one, see, your quotation is the one speaking for you. You're showing, you need to showcase yourself through your quote and let all the first page on your quote speaks for you. But you can contact Mr. Paul, he will tell you more about those things. I understand what you're saying, but there's this thing about quotation. If you get it right, there's some quotes. I will tell you, I started my business without no marketing. I don't market, I don't do anything. It was referrals. But I can't tell you it will work for you. I don't market. It was referral that gave me all the jobs I know about this whole world. I did market, but I won't tell you not to market. I won't tell you not to do marketing. But me, I didn't do that. I didn't do marketing. All my clients, I didn't do it was through referrals. But number one thing, to hand it, see, build your net worth. Don't build your self-worth. That's what I would say. Net worth, your network really matters. Me and Mr. Paul, we do a lot of things that you won't believe that we are in the same business. Because I believe this is how I can scale this business immediately. Your networking matters a lot in any business. Build out your networking. Leave your self-worth. Your self-worth will not give you what you want. Your networking will decide your net worth. So please, you can contact Mr. Paul. He will tell you a lot of things about this quotation. You can do quotation with analysis, quotation with a lot of quotation that we do is quotation with paralysis. You quote and you paralyze the whole quotation. But if you do it with analysis, you analyze the quote and those people will like it. So thank you, Mr. Paul.
All right, thank you, Engineer Pompey. So I want to thank everyone for taking their time, most especially Mr. Bosun. We can appreciate you enough. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. I think, okay. We are so grateful, Mr. Bosun. You have really, you really answered most of the bugging questions, challenges from staffing to finances, to, how to keep day-to-day challenges in our economic problem. That's a very fantastic. I want to say a very big thank you for your time. That's very highly appreciated. You understand? We are glad to have you. Courtesy of the Real Boats Training Academy and our team, our staff and our management, we say a very big thank you. And to your team out there too, to your wonderful wife, to your wonderful team, we say thank you. Keep the good job going on in the cleaning and the hygiene industry. I believe together, you made mention of something during the training. You mentioned green cleaning, that there's going to be a shift from the manual or the normal conventional cleaning to the green training. That is where I want everybody to keep envisioning.
Yeah.
We are gone out of the days of carrying brooms and packer and broom all
True.
around. People are looking at digital cleaning. You understand? Because everyone wants an effective and efficient more result.
Yes.
Like the last man asked, you know, I'm ready to pay more I when I know you have the tools. You understand? I'm ready to pay I when I know the person will actually deliver. Irrespective of, don't be surprised that you can give a quotation of 60,000 naira for 3-bedroom flat. Another person gave 80,000 naira, but the other person who gave 80,000 naira will get it because they have seen what the person can deliver compared to you that they know. I mean, they haven't seen your job before. So that's just what is it. And that is why you remember also Mr. Wadu was saying that let your appearance, your branding, you know, when he talks about appearance, it can also equivalent. It is also equivalent to branding. You know, the way you brand yourself talks of how much more your company will go. Madam Veronica is raising up her hand. Please, that will be the last question because I'm trying to round up this webinar as fast as possible so that everybody can go prepare for work or for the week. So, Mrs. Veronica, I've unmuted you. You can go ahead with your question.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I think it was Engineer Pompey that spoke about, I don't know, Mr. Bosun spoke about deliverables. I wanted to ask, because usually for me, I do a scope of work, you know, so my scope of work is to break down what I'm going to do in your place. So I wanted to be very sure the same way he's explaining deliverables is also the same way known as scope of work. If there's a difference, I just want to know what it is. It's something that I can work on when I'm actually writing my quotation or proposals, usually for my clients.
Yes, thank you for the question. The scope of work is still the same thing as the deliverables because it's just you know, detail to explain what you're going to do in details, you know, from top to bottom. It's still the same thing. So it's the scope of work, to be precise. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Veronica. So it's not enough that we learned of all this beautiful thing here. Like he said during the training, he said execution and implementation is very key. Please, let's go back to our drawing board. Everything that we've written down this week, in this training, please let's ensure that we put them into training. Into practice. That's very, very key. Yeah, that's very, very key. Execution is key. Implementation is key. You know, for the past almost 1 hour, 40 minutes we've been here. We have various contributions from Engineer Pompey, from Mr. Femi Kinri, you know, from wonderful and intelligent people who are doing wonderfully well in the industry. So it's not enough to hear all of those things. Implementation is key. Execution is key. What is it that I'm not doing well that I need to start doing? What is it that I'm currently doing well that I need to do more? Please let us revisit our notebooks. Let us listen to the replay again and again. The replay will be made available, please. Then we can actually fill our gap. Thank you, Mr. Bosun, once again. God bless you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I truly appreciate. Thanks to everyone that has come up, that have tuned in. We truly appreciate your time, and we hope we can learn from each other as time goes on. We can get to talk, have more time to do this on this platform, on another platform. You know, I believe in collaboration. This industry is still is a large one. It's a large one, and it can contain everyone. So collaboration is very important. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you to the whole of Riobo team. I truly appreciate this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing your platform.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a wonderful week. God bless.
Thank you. And yourself.